What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to another beautiful Wednesday in North Carolina. 80 degrees easily. Just sat outside, ate a delicious #1 Chick-fil-A combo. Didn't get the fries, got the fruit cup. What's happening, everybody? Hope you're good. How's everybody doing? Checking in. Where are you? Hit me. Tell me where you are. I'd love to know. Shout out where you're from. Yes, Michael Joe Lenari. Can't wait to watch. Trust me. This dude is can't miss action. Call your mama, your friends, your cousins, and them, because it's going to be a good one today. Somebody said my dog, he used his government name, Atabola. Nate Jones in the building. Mark Tony's here. Travis Bizzle's here. Vermont, Massachusetts, just Dallas, Texas. What's up, Courtney? What's up, Mark? Indianapolis. Right. So we got a nice little crowd showing up. I knew this would be a good topic for you guys because it's one of my favorite topics. As you know, I love the branding. I love the marketing. And I've got my friend Malike with us today. He is, I don't know, I would just say a superstar in this field. I think really I came about him through social media. Like, I still got some Chick-fil-A on my face. Damn. I really honestly found him through social. I think I was kind of stalking his Instagram, and I think he was a Vault member, and we kind of talked, or maybe actually I saw his website first, to be honest with you. And I remember being like, dude, who did this? And he said, I did. And I was like, wait, what? Like, how can a DJ do this as well? Like, and be so good at it? Because as you know, it's super important. So anyway, what's up? Welcome to everybody. California's here. Edmonton, Canada's here. Kentucky's in the building. Let's wait no longer. What up, my guy? There he is, everybody.
Made me hungry as hell with that Chick-fil-A talk. I haven't ate anything, but I had 3 Cuban coffees already.
Dude, my man Malike is down in South Florida, I believe, and his company is Curate Entertainment. We'll get into that in a minute. But man, like I was saying to the fine folks, I think you can hear backstage, but that's, our first interaction was we were having a consulting call or a coaching call. And I was just like, dude, your branding's crazy. Like the site is so good. And then we became friends and, started following each other on Instagram. And he's somebody that I've like sent examples to my editor, like do better. Like I want to, like this needs to look like Malike, Icon's another one down in South Carolina. I'll send my editor. I'll be like, do better. Like the Icon is, yeah. I'm like, do better. I want it to look like this. I'm the white Malike. I want to look like this fresh.
No, you are my white Nigerian DJ brother, my man. Bro, thanks for having me on, man. I'm glad to be here, bro. You don't I'm gonna give context when I can about
Go
this.
ahead.
Even bro, I joined the Vault. The Vault was like the first DJ related education community anything I ever did. I literally DJing, had my head down, didn't look at anyone to my left and my right, and then really the Vault and Joe Bunn was the first thing I consumed educational wise. And I was at a solo op part of my career, and I wanted to go from solo op to multi op. And I just had so much imposter syndrome and fear. And this was like 2018, 19.
Yeah.
And I was like, I booked a call with Joe. It was like $150 or something. And I was like, I got to talk to Joe. Like I really need him to tell me like how to do this thing, because I've watched every single video. I just don't know what to do. And then I did a call with you. The first 5 minutes, you were like, yo, who did your website? You were like, this is what you said. I was at this coffee shop in downtown Fort Myers, and you said, bro, you're like in the 1% of branding and marketing for DJs.
I remember that.
You're like, you were like, bro, I don't know what you're worried about. Like, go for it. Like, what are you talking about?
You're already 90% there.
Bro.
And to be honest, breathing? Can you actually DJ? Two things you actually need to do.
You were literally, Eddie, bro. It was the most. It was the best $150 I've ever spent, because I literally was like, oh shit, Joe said cool. All right, we out. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so, bro, glad to be on. This is like an honor to be on a platform that helped me elevate, bro. So
absolutely, man. I appreciate you being on, and we're definitely going to drop some gold today. So thanks for the folks that are tuning in, wherever you are, lunch hour, or
shout out my boy Nate Acosta. Nate Acosta in Texas. What's up, man?
We got a lot of people on here. Nova Scotia, a lot of Canadians in the building. But anyway, welcome to you all. And so let's get into it, man. Like where do we even want to start this conversation? I know you've got some points that you want to kind of touch on. I mean, this could be a multi-day series. He's going to tell you about something at the end that'll, further help you extend what we're going to talk about today. So, man, just kind of start where you think we should start, and I'll, kind of jump in when I see questions, or when I have questions, or want you to elaborate on something that I really think we need to hear.
Yeah. I mean, I'll start from the perspective of like in the next 3 minutes of when we start talking about this thing called branding, I'm going to talk about the reason why like half of the people would want to like tune me out or tune out this conversation. Because like, to be honest, like it's the thing that I think as mobile DJs that we pay the least amount of attention to, because we think it's the least important thing, and that we prioritize a bunch of other things which are important, like equipment and sales and
songs
and mixing. But like when we start talking about the business of this whole thing, and about the creative side and the storytelling side, and the things that are directly related to revenue and directly related to your craft and your story, I think we just ignore it. So like it's the one thing that everyone always goes like, yo, how do you do it? I want to say, or like even why do you spend so much money on branding? Why do you not even like, we don't even got to talk about marketing, because I think you talk about marketing a lot. I think a lot of us have gotten to the marketing side, even like, oh, I need to spend money on ads and I need to do this.
Sure.
We started to get that. But the thing I talk about, and the thing that has been my bread and butter, the thing that has generated me the most return on investment, as far as new leads, brand awareness, is branding, bro. And I think there's a misconception about branding. So before anyone tunes me out, before anyone goes, whatever, he's going to talk about something that I already know of. I want to say it is the way that I've been able to elevate quicker, faster, and have more market share than anything is been me focusing on this. So because we get a $2,000 and we take that $2,000 and we literally go and buy $1,500 worth of equipment and then take the other 500 and whatever, like subscribe to a bunch of DJ pools and whatever. And then we have like $10 left for branding.
Yeah.
And we wonder why the world doesn't know that we're good DJs. Like, and then this is the game that I'm talking about. And the field that I'm talking about is if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, who cares? And so if a DJ is good and no one knows it, who cares? And this is the game of the best DJs don't win. The DJ who tells the best story wins, period.
Dude,
the DJ who tells the best story. I know thousands of better DJs than me. I know DJs in my market who are better than me. I have DJs on my team who are better than me.
Same.
It doesn't matter.
Nope. Dude,
it doesn't matter,
couldn't
bro.
be more true. And the sooner that people realize that and put your ego to the side, the better off you'll be. Because it is so imperative to realize that. It is so imperative to realize how many people are watching you and stalking you. I had my final call last night for my wedding on Saturday, and and without me saying a word about anything about social, about recording anything, the guy goes, I hope you're bringing that 360 camera because this is going to be absolute gold, which means he's been watching me all year. 2 weekends ago, I was at the Umstead, nicest hotel in North Carolina. The girl came up and goes, I was lining up the wedding party. She goes, I hope you're going to shoot this. All the guys had on those like inflatable sumo man suits. She goes, I can't wait to see this on your YouTube channel for the introduction.
Come on, bro.
I'm like, these people are absolutely watching me more so than they're looking at wedding wire ads and not ads, not to knock on those companies, but like they are in your world. They're in your socials. They are watching your stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like it's like a mute point, right? Like to say like, oh, your social media is important. Like that. Yes, that is.
Yeah.
That's how people, social proof is more important than Google, right? Like people Google on Instagram more than they Google on Google. It's like, like in TikTok, right? But like, I'll say this, and how I can validate this for me is that I have my sales manager here, and we just did our monthly sales thing, and he's like, bro, everyone's coming from Instagram. The number one message we get is, hey, we've followed you on social media for the last 6 months. We've watched all your videos, all your mixes on YouTube, on Instagram. We love you. Are you available
on this day?
Right. They don't want to talk about money. They don't want to talk about, we need to vet you. Even our DJs, we have 17 guys and a girl. They're not asking anything about, well, we're not sure. We're just between you. Every message is, we are obsessed.
Yeah.
We are obsessed. Right. And that's so for me this is how I separate it. And this is kind of like the main understanding about branding, marketing, and sales. Like we think branding, marketing, and sales is kind of like this one thing. Yeah. And branding, marketing, and sales is a step in the process of so it starts with branding, right? Like everything starts with branding, and all branding is saying it's the story you're telling. Sure. Like that's all branding is.
Right. That's a common misconception, right? Because people just think it's your logo. Oh, it's Joe Bun, the play button, or it's Target has a Target,
you want
a Nike swoosh.
If you want to piss me off really quickly, tell me that branding is your logo.
Yeah.
Like I don't even use our logo. We don't even use our logo like that. Like our logo is not really that important. What is important? Like what happens when you say curate? Mm-hmm. A lot happens, right? So like logo is probably like 0.1% of your branding. Sure. For at least in this context, right? Like Target, obviously you walk by Target. Oh, damn. But there's a lot that comes with Target. Do you know what branding is? 1%, the logo. You know what the rest of branding is? The feeling you feel when I say the word Target.
Yeah.
Branding is the feeling you feel. You've been watching football lately. How many freaking iPhone commercials can you tolerate right now? Like, right?
Yeah.
But branding is the feeling that you feel and the thoughts you have when you see that titanium phone move in the lighting in the middle of a forest, and you're like, yo, this is a fucking phone. This is not
it's
like
the exact same shit as the last
it's
one.
the same.
I didn't even get the last one. I think this is the 13. I skipped the last one.
Bro, it's the feeling, the story they've created around the phone. They act like this phone is falling from the sky, and it's like, it's like, bro, this is the phone. But they are smart enough to know that this is not just a phone. Like if right now somebody walks in with a Samsung and I try to send them a text and then they get the green message, right? I get the green message. The story around that is branding. Oh, you got the fucking green bubble, like, right? And so one of the things, I feel like we understand that though. Like I feel like everyone watching is like, yeah, I know that. I know branding. But why don't we apply these same things to mobile DJ? Like how did we bro, Joe, I talk with planners all around the world, luxury, all the way down, right? Like I talk to florists, I talk to cake people, I look at their social media. We are at the bottom. We are at the bottom of storytelling when it comes to wedding vendors, private event vendors. We are at the bottom. We do not tell the story of what we do at all. All we do is we show equipment, we show music maybe, right? Like we are not we tell services. Oh, I have photo booths. Oh, I have CO2. Or I have, and we think that's what we're competing with. But you know what happened, Joe? When Joe Bunn in 2017 came out with the white EVs, right? And everyone, what happened the next 4 or 5 years? Everyone got the white EVs, right? And if in 2018 you thought that, because like we saw you have the white EVs, Joe, and we were like, yo, we got to get that shit. And then we were the only ones in our town with the white setup.
Sure.
And we were like, yo, we got the white setup. The next 4 years, everyone got the white setup. Now what?
Now what?
Now what?
What are we gonna do next?
It's no longer a differentiator. It's no longer.
Go Let's go purple.
Yeah, we gotta go purple. Purple Rain, Prince. What I'm saying is, if we tapped into telling our story better, our story, not Joe's story or Jason Jani or Brian B. If I tap into telling my story the best way I can tell my story, there is no such thing as competition. There's no one to compete with me, because who can be Malike Adigun, Nigerian born in Brooklyn, who in elementary school was told that had too much energy, and now as an adult, as a 32-year-old, I take that same energy that when they wanted to kick me out of public school for, and now I get to make the best day of people's lives by using the exact same energy, and I'm selling the same energy to change couples' lives every day, because this is who I am. This is who I'm supposed to be. You know what I do, Joe? I tell that story every time you see me on social media. In different layers and different ways and different aspects, from maybe it's from a different perspective, but that's the story I'm telling. I'm leaning into my story, and I'm doing a good job at telling the story. And so I could spend $10,000 on branding, or I could spend $10,000 on marketing, or I could spend $10,000 on sales. But either way, if I spent $10,000 on branding, I know I'll have to market and I don't have to sell, because I've told the best story. And I feel like the next generation of mobile DJs are going to know, like I win by having the better story, and I don't have to have the most reviews. Like some of that shit, Joe, that we leaned on doesn't even work. Like telling people that you've been DJing for 30 years doesn't even work like that. It doesn't work like that anymore. Like,
no,
they don't care. They don't even care. They don't care about what equipment you use. So I just feel like now we're in a world where story matters more than ever. And the story around it matters more than ever than what you're selling. And I think that's what branding is getting that. And that's the big idea of branding, is story. But what can, what does that consist of? To me, that's think of your favorite story, right? Like I'll say this, and you tell me to stop if I'm ranting.
Go on.
if you as a DJ are listening to this and you don't think that you are a hero in a story that is put on this earth to save the world with what you do, and you are here for a specific reason, then you are not, then no one else is going to believe that. If you like, look at Coach Prime, our boy Coach Prime out in Colorado.
Yeah. Yes.
What is he doing different than any other college coach that's ever done it? He's not even the best college coach, right? Like, he's not.
Right.
But what is he doing? There's something about
the confidence, the story. Yeah.
Do you believe? Like, that's branding, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I just like, he is the exact epitome of the story.
Yeah.
Like, it's college fucking football. We've been doing this for years. This is nothing new. But boy, are we bought into that? So I haven't watched college football in a while. I'm just not a college football guy. I've watched every game.
I've watched a couple, and I don't give a shit about Colorado.
I don't give a shit.
Not the state, but like the football team. I've never watched a game there in my life.
It's the story, bro. I'm wrapped up in the story. Do you believe? Yes. He asked the guy, do you believe? He goes, believe what? He goes, you don't believe, right? Like all this shit. Like, everything is like, he gets on a press conference and he's telling the story of Colorado. Catch me now. You better catch me now, because next year it's like this epic 10-part series that you're watching. And I think we need to lean into every DJ watching, like, what is it that makes you you? Why did you start? Go back to the beginning of why you started this thing. Go back to the beginning of, like, every time a planner gives you a compliment, what is it that they're saying about you? Every couple, like, go back to those reviews, get the key big things that they're all saying the same of, and lean into that. If they say, bro, you were so organized, I didn't have to worry about anything. And you grew up and your house was, you lived in chaos, but you just kept things organized, and that gives you comfort. You're going to resonate with the couples who really care about, like, being organized and tap into your secret sauce. And every post you make, every highlight, anything, like, whether it's your Instagram or your website, like, I need to feel something when I interact with your brand. When I say Android and then I say Apple, you feel two different things. And the key to that is knowing, like, who you're for and who you're not for. Like, you're not for everyone, and leaning into that specific story of who you are and what you're doing and why you're doing it. Right. So yeah, man,
the story marketing, the story, even videos are why people may even be here right now. I mean, I remember launching this video, and I think originally it was just a promo piece about my story. My dad was a rope maker. Like, I should have been working at his factory. Like, how did I end up here? Like, how many of my friends' weddings have I missed? How many of my son's soccer games have I missed? And I think at the end, it was like the DJ's Vault. Like, it was the earliest piece of content we ran as traffic to get people to join it. And I think,
Joe, I remember that.
Yeah.
Why do I know about your life and I don't even know?
6 years ago, right? I mean, I think that video is 6-7 years old, and, like, I can still remember what it said, how it made. I still watch it, still show it when I speak at universities, and it makes me feel like literally a superhero. The way it's shot, the music, the story. It's only a couple minutes long, but
bro,
I remember people came in droves to the DJ's Vault because they had such a similar story, right? It's such an interesting job. It's such a cool occupation. And, I don't know about y'all, but very few of the people that I came up with from, high school till present day, number one, like their job, and number two, have what I would consider cool or fulfilling job. Most of them don't even unpack their boxes anymore if they're in the tech space, because they just get headhunted and move on to the next company. It's just a weird life. Like, this is a blessing.
So those videos you do for the Vault, right? Like, has anyone ever been like, even the one you did, the mayhem one that you did for, I remember all that shit. It's funny how I remember this shit. Like, does anyone ever go like, bro, why do you anyone ever do this? Bro, who does your videos? And then you tell them, and you even tell them, and then they go like, how much? And you tell them, yeah, it was like $5,000 for that. And they go, oh, no way.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, you're not seeing it. Like,
no,
if you get $5,000 from a wedding, you take, and then they drop the new rev, and you spend $2,500 on a new rev, right?
Don't get me started on this.
Okay, but you
DJs are crazy, man.
But like, what is the return on that rev
Oh
from
my!
a client? Not the DJ stroking your ego return. What is the return directly related to your bottom line?
Those videos have booked me countless hundreds of thousands of dollars of shows. Even the silly little one-off videos like that are shot on an iPhone have booked me hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And it's evergreen. It's evergreen. You can run it every year. Like I've seen the Mayhem video in my feed, like years later, right? But like the return on that, and I think we're just a little trigger shot when we don't see the value. We're like, we want to impress other DJs, and so I'm gonna have a segment here, and I want to say with all due respect, because I mean I'm here because of I'm obviously interacting with other DJs, but like who gives a shit? If the DJs aren't your target market, who cares? Who cares? Right? Like obviously there's some industry standards and like do you use Serato and blah, blah, whatever. Okay, fine. If you want to use the best, that's a part of our branding. We say that we use the best everything. We're the best DJs. We use the best equipment. So fine, that's a part of your branding. But like if you're making decisions, I wish I could tell every DJ, if you're making business decisions based off of impressing other DJs, your wife is going to kill you. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Because that doesn't affect if like if I take that 2000 instead of buying the new Rev 7, I keep my old shit that I had. I had an SZ for a while. They stopped making them, so I stopped buying them. But I had the SZ Pioneer. I would use that shit till I die. I don't care. But like I would, instead of buying new equipment, which I had to, I booked a videographer to come with me to a wedding. So I took that video that I made that cost me $2,000 that nobody in the other DJ in their right mind in my market would do. I took that video that I spent a lot of fucking money on and ran an ad, or not even ran an ad, just posted it. Other planners, vendors were like, oh my God, they shared it with their couples. Like, you need this guy. Dude, that one $2,000 video generated me $20,000.
Easily.
Like, bro, it's just like a no-brainer.
4 weddings. That's 4 weddings for you. 4 or 5 weddings.
Crazy. And I told the story of Curate or like whatever the campaign was. I told a different aspect of my story. And it just, the return keeps on. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Then I take the $20,000 that I made and I took 2,000 of that and then I bought a new rev. You see, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, like that's going to be directly related. So like, it's not just about that you're telling your story. It's about you're telling the right story. So in branding, now if we get into the nuts and bolts of branding, there's like, you know, like your core identity, like who the hell are you? Like if I asked every DJ on here right now, like, what do you do? You're going to probably say, I DJ. You need to get that answer a little bit better, like way better than just I'm a DJ. Like, what do you take DJing out of it? What are you on earth here to do? Like I'm here that every room I walk in, I want to bring joy into that room. My mom's the reason why I started DJing. She asked me to go in this low-income neighborhood. She was like taking half her paycheck and doing this outreach at this Boys and Girls Club. And she bought pizza and soda and wouldn't do this, like, it's only Christian rap. And it was like, Mom, I only know Lecrae. She's like, Malike, can you come in and play music? And I was like, and she was like, well, I'll buy your equipment if you do it. And I was like, hell yeah. So I did it, right. And I walked into that room and I brought joy to kids. And then I started doing parties and I brought joy to people, and then I started doing weddings and I brought joy to the weddings. And I realized my purpose on this earth is to take the energy I have and direct it towards bringing joy to people. And so when I speak, that's a part of who I am, right? Like, so when I on the phone with a client, they feel joy. When they see a wedding video I posted, they feel joy. When they watch one of the podcasts I do, they should feel joy. They should feel energy. They should feel that this is an excellent DJ, right? These are things that a part of my identity. I can tell you right now, joy, right? Humility, empathy. I could tell you who I am. I could tell you why I do it. And everything I do, you feel that, you hear that, right? And so I would say the first thing, if anyone's like, yo, where do I start? Bro, you need to do some work, deep work that doesn't even involve the music you play, the equipment you use, or the DJ company name.
Dude,
It
that's what
involves
I'm saying.
who the hell you are.
And take out everything you think that's important, move it to the side, because I think you're wrong. In other words, I couldn't agree with Malike more. It is so, the gear unimportant. The what other people in your market are doing unimportant. I just feel like people are missing the boat on, the marketing, the branding, the customer service, the customer experience. I mean, just the smallest things are going to add up to not only booking the show, but making like lifelong clients. These people are going to eventually have a corporate party. You're going to get that business. Randy's been doing it so long that now he's doing kids of people's wedding. So he did the parents' wedding 30 some years ago. Now they have children getting married. He's still doing that. I mean, he's part of their family. So you just got to look at this long play. This imposter syndrome is holding you guys down. The needing new gear every time that Pioneer or Rain posts an image is just, it's toxic.
Bro, yeah, it is, man.
Something else.
It is.
Invest in something else.
Bro, and the reason why, like, because again, I've never been the best DJ. I've always just been a storyteller, and I think that's what
There's people in their mama's basement right now that will DJ me and you under a bus. They would absolutely embarrass me and you, but they're in their mama's basement because they don't have any marketing or way to get out.
For sure. And a part of that, so it's like starts with you, like figuring out who the hell you are, why you do it. Like your why and your how are gonna is a part of your story, like, and how you do it. So not only that's why you started, but like how do you do it specifically, not differently. We're not talking about positioning yet. We're talking about just how do you do it. Like I do things with empathy and joy, right? And that's gonna, to my next point, is gonna resonate with a specific person. And so I say ignore the DJ. Why ignore the DJ? What other DJs think? Because it's about what your ideal client thinks and feels. You need to be obsessed with them. My boy Nate, if he's still on here, Nate from Texas, Dallas, he knows that his people, his ideal client is a bilingual couple. One is Hispanic, one's probably American. And the bride wants Bad Bunny and the groom wants like American hip hop shit. And he knows exactly how to tap into them. He's like obsessed with, I know exactly the couple. So one thing I do is I do brand audits, and I sit with DJs, and I literally go through like 4 calls and exercises of getting down to like who they are, who their ideal couple is, their ideal client. One of the things I do is it's so uncomfortable. It's like 20 minutes of like, who do you want to work with? Like, what's their name? Like, what's their name? Where do they live? What car do they drive? What bags do they buy? What watches do they wear? What occupation do they have? Because I want you to dream up the most ideal, even how much they pay you, how much they spend on the whole wedding, like everything. What do they do for fun? What concerts do they go to? Why? Because when I'm on that call with them, and they're like, bro, I'm from New York, bro. And my dad's from New York. And we love what you do because you put EDM and hip hop together. And that's what we do because we go to EDM concerts and we just want to rage and da-da-da. And I can go, bro, I was just at Sunset Festival and I was just at EDC and da-da-da. And all these things are like, these couples find me. They're almost like either like clone, not just clones of me, but like there's a lot of things that mirror them. And they're like, and so why? Because I speak to that on social media. When I do my like live mixes that we post, like I carefully choose songs that I know is going to attract these. If I mix ideal client. So like I did one where I mixed Mr. Brightside, but it was an edit by Scooter, and I mixed it with No Hands. And like for that whole 6-month period that I had that up, I had couples that it was like the same thing. It was like the bride was white, super American. The groom was like cultured in some way, and they both wanted their music, and they just wanted it to be classy but yet still lit and turned up and ratchet. Bro, so like what I say is not that, and this leads to my next point, is like you don't have a choice branding. You're branding whether you like it or not.
Sure. Right.
It's just, what story are you telling? So a lot of times, like even like sometimes I'll just go and audit their social media, and there's like pictures, random shit, like pictures of them at the beach, and then pictures of them, and not that there's not a strategy to that.
Sure.
But it has no story. There's no point. There's no feel. Like, but if I go to Target's website and I go to Walmart's website, or just walk into their store, I'm going to feel something different. There's going to be an overall feeling that I go, this is for me, or this isn't. You walk into Walmart, you're going to feel very different than when you walk into Target or the Apple Store, right? So whether you like it or not, people are going to feel something when they interact with your brand. You are just in control of what they feel. And that people don't remember what you do or say. They remember how you make them feel. And I've always,
right.
And we're humans. So hey, we do this, and you get on a sales call. How about this? You've been on a sales call and you're like, yeah, we do this, and we have photo booths, and we can do this for you. We can do this for you. Yeah. All right, cool. What is we just want to feel you out. We want to feel it out.
Yeah.
They want to feel like you're the guy for them, dude.
Yeah.
And so the trick for branding is, before you ever get on a sales call, is that like the way that you get people saying, we're obsessed with you, we just want to book you, we just want to know if you're available, is by telling a really good story up front that you don't even have to sell. You don't have to sell. They're already sold. You just want to know if you're available and what other things can we add on. Like that should be your sales call if you have good branding. So
that's right.
Rant over for now.
100%. I mean, those people that for the first time in years, I had a couple and their mom come in yesterday for November 2024 wedding, which was shocking in itself. Like, I had to really rethink, like, remember how I used to do in-person meetings, where I would stream the broadcast, my little presentation up here, and I was sitting over there on the couch across from them, and I was like, oh my God, dude, I've literally forgotten how to do this in-person meeting. But it was just so evident that they had been on my socials or something, because they knew where I was from. Like, it was scary almost, like how much they knew about me.
They know.
Yeah, they know. And then I think they just wanted to meet me, right? Like, I didn't really have to sell them on much. They didn't really talk much about money. They were already kind of pre-qualified. I know the venue more, intimately than any other DJ in the area. And, they left signing a expensive contract. But it's just, it's a different world out there. It's so much easier if you're telling the story in advance versus sitting here in a meeting that's, supposed to take 45 minutes, and they're coming from work and they're exhausted. And then you're sitting here having to try and tell your story then, or to sell them. I don't have to sell at all. I'm basically literally just showing some pictures and recapping stuff that I've already said.
Yeah, man. And I know we're in the clouds about this big idea, but I think it's really important to have a paradigm shift about it, because unless you do it, and I literally coach DJs every week on this. And unless we have this deeper conversation about like branding as a whole, and your why and your how, and seeing how that's more important than like even like the wedding wires and all the online, even the Google app. Like, if you don't, because look, you could have good marketing, good sales, bad branding, it doesn't translate. All systems need to be a go. You need like good branding, and then you need like your boy Dom's mind of marketing and how to make, and then you need Randy. Like, you need all, like, you can't have you can't have 3 good tires and 1 bad tire. You can't drive, period. Like, all these things, like, you need to be telling the right story in the right way, and then you need to show up to your couples in the right way for sales. Like, you need to communicate the value in the right way. So, like, tell a good story, strategically tell that story, whether it's social media, like, because we get into the social, you get into the strategy, which I do as well. Like, we do a lot of, so like what I do is like 3 parts. Let's clarify, solidify your story. Now let's talk marketing. Now let's talk strategy. Let's talk, okay, now that we know exactly who you are and who you're talking to and who's for you and who can afford you and where you want to work and how you want to work. Now let's figure out where they are. Where are they? They're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're on Facebook. Where are they? Okay, they're here. Now let's show up in the way that they need you to show up in. Okay, when do they show up? They show up at 9 a.m. because they're 9-to-5ers, or are they entrepreneurs? Because if they're entrepreneurs, they're going to be online late at night. Okay, we know what time they're going to be on there. Well, what do we need? What content are they consuming? Okay, you see how all your strategy comes from it comes from your branding. You can't, your marketing and your branding needs to be in sync. Like you can't have good marketing and bad branding. You're marketing a horrible story.
Yeah.
You're marketing the right story to the wrong person or the wrong story to the right person. So you need to understand the psychology of who you're talking to. Like my client is more of a luxury bride and a bride and groom. Well, guess what? Like bride and grooms in a luxury market who are spending over $100,000 to $250,000 are not shopping around. They're going to their wedding planner. Yeah. Or they're doing the social proof thing and going on Instagram and going, I want a celebrity DJ, right? So like, it's very different and you cannot show up in the same way. So now we talk about like, and we haven't even finished talking about branding, because branding is like also like not just who you are, but like your visual identity, your verbal identity, all those, like how you show up, how you speak. You can't use certain words if you're trying to show up in the right way to the right people. Right. And so you don't certain, like one of the things that we do, and I'll give you an example, is like when we post stuff, we don't post line dances, even though we might play Cupid Shuffle. Sure. You know, as curated entertainment, we don't post that because our ideal client doesn't like that shit. Our ideal client comes to us and they say, hey, we just want something that's just not typical. We don't want the cheesy stuff. Yep. All right. So we make sure that they never even fucking know that we do that. We might still do it. It's fine. Yeah. We don't tell that story online. Same. We tell the story of uniqueness. We tell our couple wants to feel like we're getting a very different place that anyone's ever gotten. It's us. I'm special, right? Like, so one of the things I did with DJ Malike, the Instagram, is that I made it all black and white. I wanted it to feel like editorial, like you're reading Vogue magazine, because my ideal client consumes Vogue magazine. They're into, conspicuous consumption and fashion. I also wear different suits for each thing, and I wear like specific jewelry because I know not that it's not who I am, because that is who I am. I'm into fashion. I'm into style.
He's real fresh.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of my brand. It's a part of my brand.
He's real fresh.
I'm really, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you. I'm working out a suit sponsorship right now, and when I get that plug,
yes, sir. You talked to me, right?
But like, my ideal client is obsessed with aesthetics. So it is important in this scenario. It is important that my setup is clean, because it needs to look good. So like, but it might not be for everyone. Like every company, they're not going like, oh, I want it to fit in with the color palette of the. Mm-hmm. But my ideal client cares about that. So you have to be obsessed, not with the DJs in your area. Be obsessed with the people you want to work with, how they think, what are their habits, like literally deep dive on that archetype, your avatar, sort of thing.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. And even so, this was recent. Number one, agreed. We don't really shoot the line dances and stuff and post them. I mean, one, because anybody can play that and get a dance floor full, right? It's a crutch. Right. Couple on Sunday. The ceremony was at 10 a.m. I've never done a wedding this early in my life. Had people dancing the whole time, but on her must play list, there were probably 6 line dances. And I don't think I've played 6 all year, 6 total. And I played 6 over this 2-hour dance set. You know, it wasn't something I normally do. And she just on the final advance call, she was like, we really like line dances. Like she goes, here are the ones we really want to hear. And I was like, hey, it's your wedding. Let's knock them out. But the other thing I was going to say was it's just interesting, like how we have the ability to, create these memories and whatnot. And they truly are unique, right? Because we do allow couples, we do want to know, what do you like? What do you not like? What are your tastes? What are your interests? The things that you can get into in that kind of final planning call are going to steer you to where you end up, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
with a great review, a big tip, rave reviews, whatever from the crowd. Like, and this crowd Sunday, I mean, again, broad daylight. I made sure that I had extensive conversations. Why are y'all getting married at 10 in the morning? I was very upfront. Help me walk me through this. She was like, we love brunch, and we wanted a brunch wedding. And I'm like, okay, makes sense. Now I've got that. Right. Like, and then she was like, look, I'm more, top 40 club. He's a pop punk guy. And I'm like, oh shit. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, that's my, like, I love that music, Newfound Glory and Paramore and Fall Out Boy. And I'm like, oh, it's on. And so what did I do? I went back and forth between them. And in the middle of all of it, somehow worked in 6 line dances. So it's just, I love this job, man. And I know Malike does too. Man. And I know everybody watching that takes the time out every Wednesday to watch these things, loves it. And they're trying to be better. But there's, probably 30, 40 people on here. There should be 3,000 people on here, or at least 300. But people, but you know what? If at the exact same time, right? Or let's just say an hour from now, right? The Pioneer is going to announce some dildo 3000 turntable, that's got a freaking wobbling boner on the top. Every DJ is going to tune in for that. There's going to be 2,000 people on the live stream of the dildo 1000 Pioneer, but we can't get 40 people on here to learn how to run a DJ company, which is insanity.
Look, man. Yeah, I know we got to go in a little bit. I want to. I'll just say this, man.
You take us home. Take us home.
You don't.
I'm getting too fired up.
You don't have to be the coolest DJ in your town. You don't have to be the coolest DJ in the United States or the world to find your people, right? Like my boy Matthew Weingard, he's out of Lakeland. He's stationary. He's super good about
ridiculous.
Bro, you just have to tap into who the hell you are, what makes you, what makes you, like, why did you do this? How'd you start? And figure that out. Do the hard work. Everything else, all you got to do is take all that, your voice, your visual identity, all these things I'm talking about, and then you hand that over to a marketing company. And then you hand that over to a social media company. Like when you hire a social media, so the way I structure my business is that I have a full-time video person on salary, and I have a full-time social media manager on salary. And we manage people's social media, which I'll get to. But like, they come to me and they know exactly what not to say or not to do, or not, like they have the guide. You need to have a brand guideline. Here's the colors we use. Here's how we sound. I want to ask you this. How does your brand sound to the world? Is it like authoritative, or is it humble, or is it sly? Is it funny? Is it expertise? Is it luxury? Like, how do you sound? How does it look? Like, what shelf would you find it on? Would you find it at a Saks Fifth, or would you find it at a Walmart? Either way, look, and I'm not, by no means am I ever gonna make luxury weddings better than like our boy, Eric Massingo. Like the dude churns out millions of weddings a year and can still have the same bottom line as me. So it's not about who's better, who has the better type of clients. Figure out who you are. Align. It's something that we call at the Curated DJ brand alignment. My goal is to align every DJ in alignment with who they are, who they want to work for, and who the world says they are, right? Because your brand is not who you say you are. Your brand is what other people say your brand is. I don't care if you say you're the luxury wedding DJ. If the planners and the couples in your town don't say that, that's not who you are. So brand alignment is going, all right, who am I, or who do I want to be to the world? Who do people say I am? And how the hell, right? And who does my ideal client say I am? And how do I align that so that it all flows? That I say I'm luxury, planners say I'm luxury, couples say I'm luxury, and that is the image I'm putting out. Whatever. If I want to be the bilingual DJ or the country DJ in my town, am I aligned? Am I speaking, sounding, looking, and showing up that way? So I would say do the hard work with yourself, figuring that out, and then take that, work on your marketing, as in show up to those people consistently, constantly, be on top of mind constantly, so that when they think, it takes 7 times, right? 7 times for anyone to see something before they buy, right? Like dive into the vault stuff. There's a lot of good, solid marketing stuff in the vault. And then if you tell a better story, have good marketing, and your sales team is crushing it, bro, I promise you, bottom line gets bigger, and then reinvest, and then do it again, and do it again. Spend more on the next campaign. Spend more on the next campaign. It's a fucking flywheel, bro. You can't go anywhere in Florida without hearing Curate, and you win.
Yep.
So,
and at the end of the day, man, not every client's right for you, right? I kind of spaced out a little while ago when I was going to say that. Like, I remember meeting somebody recently, a couple weeks ago, and halfway through the call, I could tell he was reading off like interview questions like you would in a corporate job. So what makes you better than
it's the not questions? It's the not. They have an article, 20 questions to ask your DJ, and they come with that list. Oh, I hate that shit.
And then so that was red flag 1. Red flag 2 was, well, I'm meeting with some other people. When you say that, you've already lost me, man. If you don't come here knowing that you're going to book me or one of my guys, you're already in the wrong place. And I remember as soon as I got off the call, I said, okay, man, yeah, I'll talk to you later. I texted Randy. I said, just drop that lead. Like, that guy ain't going to book. He's going to book the cheapest person with, the best corporate answers that doesn't even do this full time. And he ain't my client. He's bullshit. And he didn't book. So know that it's okay that you're not going to book everybody. You're not supposed to book everybody. Not everybody is your ideal client, and you want to end up with the people that are aligned with you. All right,
bro.
Before we go, talk to these people. Tell them you've kind of sprinkled a little seasoning about helping other people. Yeah, tell us. So number 1, he is an educator inside the vault. He's made 2 amazing videos already about gathering, collecting, and posting social content. But tell them how you can help people, on a one-on-one basis, how to reach you, etc.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much, bro. So we just started something called the Curated DJ. This literally because I think the best things, best companies, anything is started from anger. When you get angry about something, that's how you know you got a good idea. And I kept getting angry at my DJ friends all around the world, focused on the wrong thing, and I wanted to help with this thing I'm talking about. So we started something called the Curated DJ. If you go on Instagram, it's the Curate and then DJ. And it's just, so from just a very surface level, where I'm giving out this information on how to just focus on branding, literally like different key things that I've learned on my 12 years of doing this. I work with I have my social media girl give a lot of input, my video guy give a lot of input, and then like really good branding experts. And so off the bat, just follow me on Instagram. A lot of things are going to be rolling out in the next 6 months. Right now, if you want, I can audit your brand. I'll sit with you right now. I have a couple guys in on here who I'm actually working with. We do about 3 to 4 calls over a matter of like 2 months. And we'll do the hard work that I'm talking about, really getting to that. And then at the end of it, I give you a whole brand guideline. I literally put how you sound, who you are, who your ideal client is. We'll get that all down. And then we'll work on your strategy, your creative, like when to post, all the social media, all the stuff that you probably know you should be doing that you don't want to do. But we'll do it from a place of, you're not going to go and try to be Justin the DJ, like the GOAT, right? Like, you're going to go try to be you. You're not going to go try to be Joe Bunn. You're not going to try to be Malike. You're going to try to go be the best version of you and show up as the best version of you. So I help you do that. And it's some deep work and it's some practical work. So there's fluff in there because the fluff is important, but it's not just fluff, it's substance and practicality, like actionable steps. So I do brand audits every week, and it's my favorite thing because I feel like it's a therapy session for DJs. And then from there, we actually run social medias as well. So at the end of these brand audits, I get to like, a lot of DJs are like, yo, I love all the things you gave me, literally the blueprint, the whole guideline. I just don't have time to do it. I don't have resources, whatever. Like, can you just do this for me? And now I have a team of social media managers, of brand strategists, of video people that literally run your social media. So we run other DJs' social media at different levels. We have some like turnkey stuff, and then we have some like full blown, we'll take over your whole thing, make sure that you show up online the way you need to. About to roll out here in the next couple months. We're about to open up a community of like coaching calls. I'm gonna do a masterclass, but I'm gonna have a community of people who really, if this resonates with you and you're like, I want to work on this on a weekly basis, we'll have some hot seat stuff. And so I am rolling out a whole community of people focused on DJs who want to up their branding game, up their marketing game, and show up better online to their people. And so course coming, course coming. I like a couple things, course coming with some people, my own stuff coming, but ultimately just follow along. And I'm going to feed all that stuff to you. I would definitely say go to the curatedDJ.com and sign up for emails, because you'll know what's coming when it comes. But
perfect.
Yeah, man, I really, really appreciate you.
Last thing is, so they can just DM you at the Curated DJ, which is on the screen now.
Yep. Curated DJ, Instagram. And then if you hit the link in bio, it's our website. You could sign up for a coaching call. You could sign up for a brand audit. You could inquire to see if we can run your socials, all that stuff. So
last thing, what are you doing at the DJ Collective? Aren't you doing some stuff for us this year?
Yeah. So I'm doing a workshop. at DJC on this right here. You guys gave me a freaking hour, bro. I'm having a hard time. I have so much shit, but I'm gonna make this an hour of straight gems and practice. All gas, no breaks. You're gonna walk in. I'm getting right to it. So no fluff in that one. And then we're actually running all the socials for DJC. So we're doing video, all that shit. But
so if you can still get down there, we've still got a few tickets left. November 12th through the 15th, I think 13th through the 15th, Atlanta, Georgia. The URL is right there on the screen. All right, I got to go get my son from school. Malik, you're the man. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out with us today. We appreciate y'all. And
thank you so much. Joe, I owe one day you're gonna get a check in the mail.
Wow.
You're gonna get a check in the mail. When I have enough money one day, I owe a lot, bro. I just want to say I owe a lot to the work you do, man. So thank you so much, man. I got to give you like flowers, man. Thank you,
dude. I appreciate you too, man. I'm telling you, I'm inspired by your stuff, and I'm telling you, there's been plenty of times I forwarded it to somebody and said, this do better, because this guy's killing it. Make my shit look like this. Thank you guys again, everybody. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, great rest of the week, and we'll see y'all. Thanks, y'all.